approval of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, hearing of individuals and our groups. Lorna Porter.
Hello. As far as MEA business goes, we had our general membership meeting last week, but we didn't have anybody show up except for me and the vice president. So we're either gonna reschedule it for early in October, or we'll just stick with our regular October meeting at the end of October. It will be the budget meeting, so if you're interested in how MEA uses its funds, make sure you come to that meeting so you can put your input in. Other than that, we don't have any new business, and that's it.
Thank you. Stephen, go ahead.
Hello. On Wednesday, September 17th, we did elections for student government. 66 total ballots were cast and only 2 were rejected, but because they were filled out incorrectly. But the results for people who ran for school president was myself, Miles Atkinson, Vince Milligrock, and Matthew Miller, and the school president is me. Thank you. Thank you. School vice president, 2 people ran for that, Kelly Michelson, I think so, and Aiden Verney. Kelly won school vice president. There was only one person who ran for parliamentarian. That was Elizabeth Anderson, so she got that position. Senior class officers it was 2 people. So Daisy King got president, and Makari Martinez got vice president for senior class. Junior class officers, 3 people ran: Bailey Nelson, Callan Hudson, Aiden Verney, and Bailey Nelson won president, and Callan Hudson won vice president. Sophomore class, it was 2 people who ran. 3 people ran. Gracie Booth won vice president, and Ashlyn Lees won president. And Luke also ran too. Freshman class was Gabe Booth and Kaiser Hudson. Gabe won president, and Kaiser won vice president. So that is all that I have. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, hearing of individuals and our groups on agenda items. Do I hear anybody? No, okay. Okay, we're to reports. Shannon Hudson, please.
Good afternoon. Mine's pretty short and sweet. I have some things to add from this that were not on there because it was last week and now it's this week. So a couple things, but attendance. Just wanted to let everybody know that attendance letters went out today. I'm trying really hard to kind of keep to the policy and make sure that the letters go out when those students start showing chronic absenteeism. So those went out today. We have after school club starting. It is on Mondays and Wednesdays. There's soccer. Mondays are for the younger kids and Wednesdays are for the older kids, and Mr. Joe is running that. We got through our MAPS testing data, and there's just a couple key points I wanted to point out to everybody. 2 years ago, our achievement level, so that's the levels for reading where everybody all together, so all the kids that test 2nd through 5th grade in reading and math, 2 years ago that achievement level was at 24%. We now started this fall at 42%. So that's awesome. I want to thank Jeannie, the reading team, all the people that have done all the work for the READS Act and everything else, because that came before me and they're doing a really great job with it. And then 2 years ago for math, we were at about a 32% for achievement, and now we're starting this year at a 40% achievement for math as well. So great things happening with just overall achievement in the building. So I just want to thank all the teachers for that. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it. We are still continuing with DIBELS testing. The DIBELS testing is the testing that is kind of the finite reading, really targets like the phonemic awareness and all those little bits of reading that get targeted through the interventions. That's still ongoing this week. We have, I think, kindergarten left and first grade. And then we've added to that M-Class math suite a math component of that. Got some feedback today from a couple teachers who are just really loving the data that's coming back to them. It's a pretty short little assessment. There's like 30 questions and they're very straightforward. So the information that's coming back from that is really promising as far as like it being able to like tell teachers what kind of instructional tools and what to do next with kids. So I look forward to kind of digging that into that with Dylan as soon as he's doing our math stuff with us, our math interventionist. So that's happening. Pickup is going really well. I think it's smoother for all those that are seeing out the window, Frankie. I think it's going much smoother and better. I think everybody, even when there was a day when Joe and I weren't out there, but everybody kind of knows now kind of what to do. It's a lot safer because people are waiting and making sure that somebody has the child, holding their hand and getting them to the cars and there's not kids running. So I think it's going really well. Pre-K, grant, we kind of got some feedback on the grant on what our next steps are. Not very many indicators. When we met with the state, they were really impressed with how far along we are. There's just a couple really specific things we need to do with communicating to everybody about the screenings we do with the younger kids. There's a couple other little pieces to the grant that we kind of need to work on and make sure that are out there in our handbooks and things, that the information is out to the public. But we got 100% on a lot of those indicators, which was really a good sign. So we don't have quite as much to do in order to move from conditional into fully funded. I'm pretty confident that that'll happen next year. So that is good news. We're doing a different award each week. So last week we did the best attendance for the whole school for the first 3 weeks of school. That was Miss McCarty's first grade class. So I want to bring a shout out to them. Yay. They got a little golden award for that. And then they all got these little tags that go on their backpacks. So each week on a Friday, we're doing some acknowledgement of best class that walking in the hall or use of the bathroom or just kind of those positive rewards. So they get these golden awards for that. And then the kids get little tags that they're collecting to put on their backpacks to kind of reinforce that positive behavior. So that's been really fun. Book fair. Book fair is coming up next week. That will be next Wednesday and Thursday in the afternoon. I don't remember the times yet, but keep an eye out on Facebook for that. So I know it's always a fun event for everybody. And thanks to Jeannie for that too, because she puts all that together. So anybody wants to volunteer, it's really fun. I think that's it. I don't have anything else written down. Do you guys have questions?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Lindsay, do you have a question?
Yeah. I'm going through the chair.
Okay.
With the pre-K funding, there is one board policy that needs to be updated. Do you know that number, or just we can talk after to find it? We need to get it on the next board meeting for the first reading.
Yeah, I think the specific, a lot of it has to do with wording around suspension, expulsion, behavior things that are very specific towards just pre-K students. So I can't remember the number of what it is, but there has to be specific language in the policy that addresses that we do not expel pre-K students and what that looks like. We're actually going to, the state is offering us somebody to help us write all that.
Okay.
So we will start having meetings with that person. I think on October 19th, there's a webinar that's going to walk us kind of through what a really good handbook looks like, and then also some of the board policy that has to be taking place. And then DEED is offering us like our segments with their policy person who will help walk us through all that.
We'll wait for that.
Yeah.
And then bring it.
Yeah, we should have it by, I would think by November, if all goes well and we can get together with their person.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you, Shannon. Josh Skipper, middle school.
Good evening. Middle school's off to a really great start this year. I was just in a meeting with my staff right before I came up here, and I don't get into classrooms as much as I would like to, but every time I do, I see teachers working hard and kids having fun learning. And that's a really wonderful thing to see. So we're off to a great start. During the first week of school, we hosted our grandparents and elders lunch up here at the high school. And it was a really fun time. I think we had like 22 or 23 grandparents and elders that came and had lunch with our kids. And it went really, really well. So we're looking forward to continuing that tradition. I think they've been doing that for 3 or 4 years now, and it's always really successful. So that was good. The first Friday of the school year, we had our kids design class flags and an art and do a chalk project outside, and it was just a really fun way to kind of introduce the new school year, or to bring in the new school year. We did, like Shannon in the elementary, we started and finished our fall map testing. We have like 98% of kids tested, and we're in the process of getting the ones who missed testing to do it. And some of the data is looking really encouraging. So I don't have the hard numbers in front of me like Shannon did, but it does look pretty good so far. Martin and Chinwei, who were running the basketball camp, came and talked to our students last Friday during an assembly about the importance of being kind, mental health, and seeking positive mentors. I feel like the more we can share those messages with our kids, the better, and I thought it was really, really good. Middle school cross country just got back from a meet over in Thorn Bay last weekend, and it went really, really well. I heard a lot of really positive things from our coaches, and so I'm proud of our kids. We have a fun run tomorrow at 4:15, starting at the middle school. They're going to run out to the flagpole at the graveyard and back to the middle school, and I'm sure they would appreciate anybody to stop and cheer them on. So we'll be out there. Hopefully it's sunny like today. We ordered a school-wide set of novels, and we're going to do a whole school book study coming up, and the title of the book is Sure Signs of Crazy, and I think it's really neat because so much of young adult literature has a male protagonist, and this book has a female protagonist, so I'm excited to work through that with our entire school. We're in the process of purchasing a school-wide reading supplement that allows teachers to differentiate the same material to students on different reading levels. So they'll get, everybody's article will be about the same thing, but the way it's formatted will be more accessible to kids who are really high readers. It'll be more challenging, and for our students who are learning and maybe struggling a little bit, the text will be less difficult. Our new response to intervention model is going really well, and we're looking forward to providing students with the tools that they need to be successful in the classroom. We meet every Monday. There's 4 of us on the teacher leadership team, myself, Chelsea, Miss Porter, and Miss Parise, and so that's going splendidly. Attendance has been a little bit rough. As I'm sure you guys are aware, there was some sickness already working its way through our kids, and it seems like folks are healing up and it's on the upswing, so that's encouraging. Other than that, it's just been really, really positive start to the school year. So do you guys have any questions for me? Okay, thanks.
Mr. Nugis.
Good afternoon. We are sitting at 102 students currently. This far into the school year, we're at 89% attendance rate. There's a little bit of sickness, and we have hit the ground running with activities. Right, like our first cross-country meet was literally before students even reported to school. So it's just been kind of everybody running hard. I left for a week. I had to go to a funeral. And so I really wanted to say a thank you to our staff, our high school staff. I heard multiple people talk about how smooth the school year actually started. And I think that absolutely is about the staff, the systems put in place, and the things that they do. The other thing, and I guess in the 3 years, I've never I just want to thank the admin team also, right, that in my absence, they covered, they did hard work, they did hard things, and so I really appreciate them as we got the year started. A couple things that I also wanted to highlight, we started with a new school start time, and I was worried as to what that was going to look like. We're basically almost a month in. It has not impacted. In fact, I would say we have fewer tardies to school than we had when we had a later start time. Another thing that we've talked about extensively over time, this year, absolutely, I've seen less cell phones making it into the office. And so I think we are at a place now where our students are aware of and absolutely following the expectations. I'm really proud of them. Again, we're at a point where cross country's been going, volleyball has started. We have multiple open gyms happening. Like, everything is just busy all the time. And so one of the thoughts that also I just wanted to share with families, if you're listening, please, if you have a concern, you have a question, please come talk to us. Please come to the school, reach out to us, let us know what your concern is or what your thoughts are, because we try very hard to partner with families. As we move forward, we've got a handful of makeup tests to do for math map testing. We at the high school are only about 40% done with language arts, and this week we want to continue to do that. There was a glitch in the testing. We didn't have the app on our computers, so we had to move our map testing to a day later. And so we've tried to do that within the English classroom, and that has not worked well. So we needed to try it to learn to capture that within the English classroom, and I just hope that we don't encounter that again. So that we will finish up this week. It is our intention to finish up this week with map testing, so that we can have data to present. Again, another person that I would like to highlight is Mr. Stemp, Dylan Stemp, as he's navigated starting the AD work. I believe he's done an exceptional job at it. That is a very large job, a large task, and just really want to share that I've seen him do some fantastic things. To include, he's even went on trips to chaperone, and so really appreciate you. So, with that being said, are there any questions? Okay, thank you, guys.
Nicole.
Good afternoon. I only have one comment. We have all of our related service providers on site this week, and we're starting to screen 3-year-olds and all new students to the district. And we have about 13 evaluations that are going to start, that have already started this week, and we'll get those wrapped up before December. So we are hitting the ground running, and it's pretty busy. We are also moving to a new software, Embrace. We're moving from Power School Special Programs to Embrace, and that'll be a year period. But this is our compliance year. I don't expect us to have any problems with that at all. And I'm very grateful for the teachers who are making adjustments in the staff. And that is all I have today.
Thank you, Nicole.
Do you have any questions?
Okay, I want to start by just giving an opportunity for Dylan. I'm surprising you. But just give an update on the activities that are in place, and maybe your thoughts on how things are going with activities. We usually have you on the agenda. We'll make sure that.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Like they were saying before, activities and sports are in full swing, and it's only going to get busier here in about a week. First, I wanted to mention that it was reported to me by the coaches that DDF, who went on their trip 2 weeks ago, had their best overall performance as a group during a competition. So I just really wanted to give accolades to the students and the coaches for all their hard work. I just traveled with cross country high school to Juneau, where they competed super well, and now we're getting ready to go to Sitka for regionals. We have 7 boys competing and 2 girls who we're just super excited to see out there and running. Volleyball is about a week and a half into practices, and then this upcoming weekend they have their first matches in Ketchikan, and then a few weeks later after that we'll have our first home meets with Ketchikan, so we're kind of doing a home and home event. Wrestling will start their official practices next Wednesday, and we've been working super hard on getting our home meet in the middle of October ready. So we've got referees, we got people to help us with the scoring and all of that operation. So it's just kind of getting everything together to make sure it's just an awesome event for all the teams that are hoping to participate in it. Middle school basketball is starting in about a week and a half. And we've got coach recommendations lined up that I believe you guys will be talking about here in just a little bit, but we're super excited with the nominees that we're putting out there, and we hope you guys are too, and just really getting all of our activities and sports programs started off on the right foot. And we also had our first home meet for cross country a couple weeks ago, first one in a long time. And due to a collective effort as a team, I thought it went so well. I thought it was a fantastic event. There was also a really nice article in the Ketchikan Daily News about it too. So if you haven't read it yet, you should read it, because it's nothing about good things about our team coming together, and then all of the participants and athletes just doing a great job at that event as well. And so lots going on, but we're excited and things are moving forward in a good way. Any questions at this point? Okay, thank you.
For my report, I want to follow up on something Shannon said about your testing dibbles in math this year. And so at the CERC meeting this last week, the commissioner presented and they touched on this a little bit. And so at the state level, they're starting to talk about the state board, potentially a math initiative just like the READS Act that's coming down the pipe. It's at the very beginning stages, but the fact that we're getting in front of that, I think is a positive thing. So over the next year or two, expect math legislation very similar to the last READS Act starting to come through the state. Indian Ed Parent Committee, we've had a couple meetings over the last month to discuss some upcoming events and some requests. Orange Shirt Day is September 30th, but the district will be honoring this event on Friday, October 3rd. We're working really hard to keep our assemblies on Fridays, so we're not interrupting class time and trying to protect that Monday through Thursday time in the classroom. It'll be a very similar thing with Veterans Day ceremony. That will be on a Friday morning as well, even though it's on a different day when it's honored. And so I think that kind of sends the message that we're really focusing on the classroom during the week and trying to pull those assemblies into the Fridays. And then we have recognized as a committee that we need more training on JOM and the processes and requirements. So we'll be reaching out to get training as a committee for those funds and how to use those. Communication, a graphic will be sent out to parents this week concerning the activity fees. I gave a copy to the board to review, and I'll leave some up here as well. Leslie will get this out. If not tomorrow, it'll be the following day to parents. And as a reminder, the $150 fee for grades 6 through 12 is to offset the cost of extracurricular activities, including sports, clubs, school-based trips, etc. It is a one-time fee, and there's a $300 cap per household. Parents are notified about the fees during registration, and the fee will be pushed out through Power School. There'll be a bill that shows up through Power School. And we're giving families until the end of October to go ahead and pay that fee. I did send a letter to Department of Education that was reviewed by our attorney and MIC's attorney concerning the requirement to consult with Plinkett and Haida for Title I funding. They've accepted the letter and granted us a temporary waiver until a final decision is made. So they recognize the importance of that, and they're saying, go ahead and submit your application. We will look at this and issue a final decision at a later date. Alaska Reads Act, there are some requirements outlined in HB 57 that the district will need to adopt. We'll be reaching out to AASB for guidance on these. One is we have to publish targeted class sizes per grade level. That needs to be published to the public. The other is cell phone policy, which we already have that in the handbooks. We're going to need a policy to back that up as well. And then the other is something that probably will not affect us, but we have to have charter school procedures based upon what's in the last group, what's in HB 57. So I want to back up. It is not the Alaska Reads Act. It is the funding bill that came through. So the BSA increase bill, that's where this is coming from. And so those three things we're going to have to work on as a board to make sure we have those in place this year. Accreditation, we receive our accreditation certificates, and I will hand them out to the principals once the frames are completed. So I'm having some frames being made. They did come in, so we are fully accredited as a district, as well as each building in our district. Grants, Russ DOT grant. Ashley's really taking the lead on this one. This funds new classroom technology equipment. It's about a little over $900,000. The equipment is starting to arrive and is being stored here on campus. Some of the equipment has not arrived due to long lead times. Therefore, we're looking at a spring break installation at the high school. And then we want to set a goal for the middle school and elementary to have it installed over the summer. A little bit longer than what I thought, but what I hoped for, but the equipment is not here yet. All of it's not here yet. We've also met with our consultant from USDA about the reimbursement process. If we're getting bills that we need to pay, we need to recapture that money through the grant. Secure Rural Schools, which is our forestry seats. I've reached out to Representative Begish's office again, as well as his legislative affairs representative, as well as Senator Sullivan, as well as Senator Murkowski, as well as the Superintendent's Association. And it's tied up in House HR 1383. They have to finish the budget at the federal government by September 30th. And there's been no movement on this bill. It's still in committee. And I'm not getting a lot of information back. So the hope is it gets pulled in, but we need to be prepared in case it doesn't. Facilities maintenance, they have been really busy. A lot of efforts in our duplexes who had very serious damage due to water in the entryways. We had to pull the entire entryway out of the newest duplex and rebuild that. We'll be going to the second oldest duplex, is one that's on the hill facing the high school. Very similar problems, water coming in through the siding and rotting out the floor. There are a couple of MOAs in the board packet to back up that work that's getting done. First City Electric is being given the okay to order the necessary equipment to connect the generator to the CTE building and the new facilities building. The generator is a little bit older, and the equipment that came in with the project did not match our electrical systems. And so we had to order additional equipment to make that connection. We do have our 5-year monitoring with the state for the maintenance department. It will take place, I believe, in November. And Brielle and I are working to prepare for that visit. And then the fuel tank that was installed, I think it was in the early 80s in the high school, has been replaced. So that one is done. I want to make a comment on student teaching, and I want to keep it generalized for now, but we have multiple programs requesting to do student teaching this year in our district. The UA-based programs, and I think we have one from each of the colleges, UAF, UAS, and UAA, actually started in August and are in place. The Fort Lewis program is being finalized, and we're working through that process. It was initially our understanding that it's supposed to start during the second semester of this school year. Some of the requirements for this arrived as late as last week. So we're getting more information as the year goes on. Our principals have met with Fort Lewis College of Education last week, and I plan to hold a follow-up meeting with them to gain a complete understanding of the program and what our role will be. In the meantime, our students in the cohort are still taking courses, and during the school day, we should be focusing on our jobs at hand, the paraprofessional jobs that we have. Once we fully understand the program and what our requirements are, a plan will be developed and shared with the group. And the last thing is, I have a fall superintendent's conference in Fairbanks this week, and that should be my last traveling for a while. Any questions for me?
I would just like to say at this time, thank you to all the administrators and the teachers for job well done. I really appreciate what you folks are doing. Thank you. Consent agenda, we need action to approve.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
All for a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to
Approved, action carried.
6-1 A through L.
Shall we do all the action items together?
I did 1 through L by itself.
6-1.
All the extra duties by itself.
Oh, it's just an extra.
I just did the extra duties by itself.
She made a motion to approve.
We did the extra duties by itself.
And then the rest.
So did you,
For the extra duties, Frankie's motion, Colleen second.
yes.
And then for the rest of them, Frankie's motion, Colleen second.
I'll make a motion to approve 6.2 to 6.7.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Action carried. Hearing of individuals and or groups. Do we have anybody out there? Items of information and discussion. Do you have anything, Tom?
I don't at this time. I believe the fall conference for the school board is coming up. I don't know if that's October or November. Brittany, do you have that yet? I think it's usually.
It's always in November.
It's in November.
Because the reorganization is in ASB 72nd Annual Conference, November 13th through the 16th.
Kind of keep it on the radar and maybe in the October meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. You have a second?
Everybody said. Second.
Motion to adjourn at 4:40.
All right, thank you all for coming. Are you okay?